I am burnt out as well as Brother Malachi. We are burnt out with the racial tension, and we've played our role in the racial tension. We've played our role in the racial tension. And so we are going to play our role in undoing as much racial tension as possible. And that's why we're talking about this today.
It says from Jericho to the American courtrooms, what the Bible and ancient Jewish law. So even your Mishnahs and your Talmud. I mean, no, Brother Malachi, it's the Talmud. Okay? What the Bible and ancient Jewish law actually say. Okay? So we're not about to play the games and the molly cuddling and acting like things ain't what they are. It's what it is. Okay? Yeah. The very first Israelite sold in the Holy Bible, is a man by the name of Joseph. Y'all know the story. Look over here far to the left. It don't matter. And again, we got one depiction of him. We got plenty of depictions. I got Joseph as a Native American for any of you that's offended. I got Joseph as a so-called European if you're offended. I got Joseph as a so-called modern day Jew if you offended. Right. See, you so caught up into what a thing looked like, and you're not tripping off behavior. Right. Now look at this. Regardless if they was black, white, Nova Scotian, Cambodian, whatever. This brother was sold into slavery by his biological brothers. Yeah. Okay, this is where it starts at, right here. Slavery in the Bible, brothers and sisters, for the most part, starts right here amongst the children of Israel, and they sold their brother. Yeah. They sold Joseph for some pieces of silver. All right. And that's Genesis 37:28. If you go over to the right here, centuries later, these same Israelites who end up being slaves in Egypt after they sold Joseph, guess what they do? They have a conquest where they invade Jericho. We all know this already, right? Joshua chapter 6. Well, these images hitting, ain't they, my brother Nathaniel? Yeah, they're powerful. Look at them images there. Great job. All right, so Israelite conquest, enslavement, annihilation, and captivity made slaves of other nations. Joshua 9:23-27, 2 Chronicles 8:7-11. Totally annihilated men, women, children, infants, and sucklings. But y'all don't know, a suckling is a newborn child that's still on its mother's breast. Okay? An infant is a 2-year-old. Deuteronomy 20:16-18, 1 Samuel 15:3. Kept virgin little babies, little girls for themselves. Numbers 31:17-18, Deuteronomy 21:10-14. Receipts, brother Nathaniel. Yep. Look at this. Killed infants and sucklings. Psalms 137:8-9. That's when they talk about bashing the babies' heads against the stones. And they looking forward to doing it too. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 1 Samuel 15:3. All right. Took spoils and slaves as booty. Booty is, the spoils from war, not your rear end. Took spoils and slaves as booty. Deuteronomy 7:1-2, 2 Chronicles 20:10. And y'all, this is what all this is about today. Brief summary through pictures, right? Slavery allowed and condoned throughout Torah and Jewish law. Genesis 9:25, cursed be Canaan. A servant of servants shall he be. We got receipts. We not just licking our fingers this is not lick your finger scholarship. Receipts. Open up your Bible and look at it. Leviticus 25:44-46. Israelites may buy slaves from the nations, brother Nathaniel. See, you're so mad about Christopher Colombo when he sailed the ocean blue in 1492. You so mad at, the English and the French and the Portuguese and the Dutch you was already doing this. And they use your records if you are Israelite. It makes no difference to me if you claim if you're black, white, yellow, China, but if you claiming to be this, then guess whose records they're quoting to justify enslaving you? yours.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yours.
Then you believe you're going to enslave in the kingdom. So it's crazy. You enslaved before, but you whining for all these years about 400 years of slavery. But you believe that your monster God is going to re-enslave all the nations under you for 1,000+ years.
Oh, man.
I mean, just some utter hypocrisy. And then they talk about the Bible says don't kidnap. And that made ours different. Well, the Bible, of course, is filled with contradictions because they was kidnapping them young virgin girls. What do you call a bunch of grown men going into a whole city and you murder everything and everybody, but then you snatch up the young virgin girls for yourself? And like you say, brother, the only way they was guessing who were virgin girls, not based on any type of medical test. They was just going by the age. So that means they were snatching up anyone that looked under 17, 16 years old.
And even younger.
Yeah.
And
even they were
younger
by age.
Yeah,
they was just automatic. It could have been a 40-year-old woman that's a virgin, but they wouldn't have took her. That's why the monster guy said young virgin girls.
Ooh, keep for yourselves. What are we gonna do? Play Find Where's Waldo? What do you think that means? What are we finna do? Read a whole bunch of Curious George books? What do you think that means to keep the virgin girls for yourselves? Okay, we got to stop it, man. We got to stop this. Okay, look at this. Buy slaves from the nations. Exodus 21, 2-6, where you got a Hebrew slave. That's in Torah law. You can buy a Hebrew slave. Serve 6 years, others for life. Leviticus 25, 39-46 can buy slaves as property, Brother Nathaniel. Pass the children. So that, in other words, the slaves that you buy as your property, your children inherit them. It's all in Bible, and we all know there ain't a person pulling air through their nostrils right now that don't know slavery is ugly business. It's nothing to be glorified, no matter who's going through it. You see this? It is Deuteronomy 15.
Brother. I'm gonna come right back. Keep cooking, brother. I'll be back in a few minutes. Keep on
Absolutely.
going.
Deuteronomy 15, 12-18, rules for Hebrew and foreign slaves. Deuteronomy 20, 10-14. Women taken in war may become wives. But I mean, again, you just murdered her whole family. Made her cut her hair, cut her nails. Woman, you can mourn your family for 30 days. After 30 days, I don't care if you still snotting from the nose. Come over here and spread them. See, none of this is consensual. It's not consensual. 1 Chronicles 2, 34-35, slaves taken in war listed as inheritance. Now let's get over here and talk about something some of us don't know. How the Bible was used to justify slavery in court. Court records, Somerset versus Stewart, 1772. Now watch this though. Defense argued slavery was allowed in the Bible. They're using the Bible to justify this, y'all. See, they wouldn't even be able to come up with a proper defense had it not been in Bible. Look at that. Now look at the judgment though. Judgment is slavery not supported by English law. So Somerset was set free. Lord Mansfield's ruling. So even though it's justified by Bible, the judgment came down. It's not justified by English law. Look at this right here. Prieg versus Penn, 1842, U.S. Supreme Court. So this is in the U.S. Court sided Bible to support return of a slave owner, of a slave to owner judgment. Slavery is supported by the laws of nature and of nature's God. Look at this. This is your Supreme Court in the United States. Prieg versus Penn, 1842. Look it up. Look it up and trip off the judgment. They're using the Bible, your records. If you're an Israelite, if you're Jewish, if you're claiming to be a white nationalist that's chosen, or anybody that's identifying as the chosen race dealing with this Bible, guess whose records they're using to justify slavery, bondage, degradation? Your records.
Due to a lack of support, brothers and sisters, our last food drive On July 4th, we fed the lowest number of hungry orphans and children that we had in several months. Unfortunately, upwards of 4,000 children they could not attend due to a lack of food. I told you all that from now on, the number of children we will be able to feed a delicious, nourishing, whole food, plant-based buffet will depend on the amount of money we raise. The cost is $1 to $3 per child, depending on their size. Our next opportunity to attain true salvation and do what pleases the Creator will be on Saturday, August 8th, 2026. Saturday, August 8th, 2026. We are moving our food drive to a different slum, and even more densely populated, more impoverished slum, with thousands and thousands of orphans and children living in the streets. True salvation, according to the real Jesus the Nazarene, is not through innocent blood, but through repentance and making amends. So let us join together, my brothers and sisters, and make amends for our failure on July 4th. $10,000 can feed 10,000 children. Become a $1,000 Seed of Life sponsor for our organic food drive on Saturday, August the 8th. $1,000, listen to me, can feed up to 1,000 children. Hungry, starving children. We are the only vegan food drive in the world that serves the variety of fruits and vegetables that we do. This is the most nourishing and healthiest meal these poor children, these innocent children, will receive all month. So we do our best to fill up their bellies to the max and to always leave some leftovers if possible. How many blessings do you need right now? How many amendments for past sins do you need to make? Help me feed 1,000 orphans by becoming a $1,000 Seed of Life sponsor Saturday, August 8th. Get your blessings, get your healings by achieving the most difficult, listen to me, the most difficult spiritual level a human being can achieve is becoming a master of giving to the poor. All the ways to give are right there on the screen. By August the 1st, August 1st, we need to have the $10,000 completed. Cash App $ Minister of Wellness. Cash App $ Minister of Wellness. Work out your true salvation by helping me to feed as many children as possible. Cash App $ Minister of Wellness. Zelle, make sure you spell it correctly. Minister Nathaniel at theministerofwellness.com. Minister Nathaniel at theministerofwellness.com. PayPal.me/Minister of Wellness is right there on the screen. The official donation page is theministerofwellness.com/give. theministerofwellness.com/give.
Your records, you can't get past it. Dred Scott, that happened right here in St. Louis. What are you talking about? They got a plaque of Dred Scott outside the old courthouse, right downtown. Yes, downtown. Ask me how I know, because I spit on it. Dred Scott versus Sanford, 1857, U.S. Supreme Court. Court ruled slaves were property and not citizens. Citing Bible and what, y'all? History. Look at that. The problem is Bible. You want to blame everybody and everything. Look, y'all,
Yeah.
It's Bible. It's Bible. It's even in your court records. They're siding with the Bible to justify slavery. Now look at this right here. This is about to really blow y'all top right here. Who ever heard of Anthony Johnson? I know it's a common name. Anthony Johnson in the 1600s, the first legally recognized black slave owner in where, y'all? America. In America. Read them and weep. A so-called brother Anthony Johnson versus John Casser, 1655, Northampton County Court, Virginia. Watch this, y'all. I couldn't even believe this. Watch this. Johnson sued. He's in court suing. Johnson sued to recover a black man named Sam, claimed as his servant for life. This is a black man slave master suing in court in Virginia, and his claim was that Sam is my slave for life, and he was another black man. Another black man.
You do know them clowns at IUSPK. They would just try to say, well, he's a Hamite.
Yeah, they would try to pull that off.
They always trying to make it seem like, that I, the so-called black Israelite, is perfect. But you already shown through the Bible where you all put swords to newborn babies, you bunch of degenerates.
Yes.
But that's what they would say with him. They'll just try to discredit, say, oh, he's a Hamite. That's why we hate the Hamites.
Who was Judah and Naphtali and Gad and Reuben? All of them was in on selling Joseph. All those were Israelites.
Yeah.
See, you can't get that off. You sold your own brother into slavery.
Right, but they act like it couldn't happen again.
Come on, man.
There were Israelites who had Israelite slaves, but they act like that can't happen again.
Yeah. Now look at the court's decision. Yeah, and y'all look this stuff up. Don't be intellectually lazy in this hour. Court decision. The court ruled in favor of Johnson. There he is. This brother right here to the right. The court ruled in favor of Johnson, upholding his right to own Sam as property, y'all, for life. This is the earliest known court case affirming a black man's legal right to own a slave in America. Primary source, Northampton County Court Record, 1655, Brother Nathaniel. Primary Jewish sources for the Jewish folk or the Zionists that's having this chosen people identity. That's feeling as if they're superior than everybody. Even if it's not in Bible, it's in their oral traditions, y'all. Look at the Mishnah. Kedushin 1:1 permits buying and selling of slaves. Mishnah, Gittin 4:10. A master may punish his slave. Talmud, Kedishun 20b. Non-Jews are born to serve, born to be slaves. You heard this? So that's how they look at you when you see them in their black top hats and they black trench coats with their strings sweeping the streets. Don't be fooled. They're into Torah and they're into oral tradition, and both permit them. Both permit them to own slaves, punish slaves, and have an identity as if they're superior than everybody breathing oxygen on this earth, Brother Nathan.
Yeah, what they're fighting over, the whole chosen argument, Brother Malachi has made this very clear. The whole chosen argument is who has the right to rule in the kingdom. That's all it's about. Who has the right to be the rulers and who's going to be the slaves. That's what the Abrahamic faith is about. That's what the Bible is about. And you Christians ain't no better because you all believe that most of humanity going to burn in all eternity. So actually, you all are the worst. While you all sit here pointing fingers at the black Hebrew Israelites, at least they believe you actually going to be living and breathing and getting something to eat while they slaves. You all believe that everybody going to be burning in eternal torment again. And that's the best it's supposed to get for the Bible. So you either got two choices from the Bible, brother. You got two choices. Either you going to be a slave to the Israelites, or if you don't accept that blood magic oath, you're going to burn for all eternity. Yeah.
That's the facts. That's just simply the facts, brothers and sisters. Look at this. Talmud, Baba Metzia 10a. If a Gentile strikes a Jew, listen to this, the Gentile may be killed. Wow. Talmud, Sanhedrin 57a. Bestiality with non-Jewish women discussed. This is crazy, bro. And then this down here, or black slave owners in America. Look at it, deal with it. Anthony Johnson, Virginia, owned at least 4 slaves in 1650s. William Ellison, South Carolina, owned hundreds of slaves, Brother Nathaniel. John Casser, Virginia, owned over 100 slaves. Abraham Petway, South Carolina, owned more than 300 slaves. Also, all these Africans,
Nah, these are black. Look at Abraham. That's an Israelite.
Come on, man. We have to stop this.
Yeah.
Hannibal King, South Carolina, owned more than 200 slaves. South Carolina was popping, boy. Everybody was in on slaves in South Carolina, it looked like, including well-dressed, distinguished Negroes. What about the Native Americans, brother? You thought they was innocent too, huh? Look at this. The Cherokee Nation owned African slaves and enslaved other native tribes. Choctaw Nation owned African slaves and enslaved other tribes. Creek Nation owned African slaves and enslaved other tribes. Seminole Nation owned African slaves. What are we talking about, Brother Nathaniel? What are we even talking about here? And of course, we know we got the European or the so-called white man. We ain't let nobody off the hook. Slavery is evil. Slavery is evil. And you know what's been happening? We just been taking turns oppressing each other.
Yeah.
That's all you've been doing. You've been taking, it's my turn now. It's like the little game we used to play back in the day called Cops and Robbers. It's your turn. Or what's the other one? The Indians and Chiefs or something like that. It's your turn. It's your turn to be the cop. And it's my turn to be the robber.
Yeah.
Come on, man. The truth they don't teach. Slavery was practiced and condoned in the Bible. The Bible was used for centuries to justify and defend slavery in court. They using your records to defend enslaving you. If you identify as being an Israelite or a Jew. Look at this. Black and Native Americans owned slaves. Yes. Along with the white man, so-called white man. Yes. History is more complex than the narrative you've been taught. Do your own research, know the whole story. You dig? So again, it's not time to be intellectually lazy, brothers and sisters. All right. Some of this stuff you've already heard. So we're going to skim through a lot of this and we're going to get to it. And in the end, we're going to show what the difference between the Bible. Like, trip about this, Brother Nathaniel. Do you think that big textbook you got called OWASP can be used in any court system in the world to justify slavery?
No.
It can't. It can't be used. The message is total different.
Yeah.
Totally different, brother.
Yeah.
All right, now watch this.
That's why they hate it so much. That's why Satan is attacking anybody who comes out with the OWASP is getting attacked, because the OWASP, you cannot have 45,000 different denominations using that book to support slavery. You can't support eating meat with the OWASP. And so that right there will make the OWASP an enemy to all the Abrahamic faiths, because you can't even use it to support eating animal flesh.
Exactly, brother. Now look at this. Slavery, conquest, and forced servitude in the Bible. A brief sequential point-by-point summary. Important distinctions. The Hebrew terms eved and amah can mean servant, bondservant, or slave. Context involving purchase, ownership, inheritance, corporeal punishment, and permanent status clearly describe more than voluntary employment. Because some people try to pull that off, Brother Nathaniel. Yeah. Oh, they just were working. Oh, it's just like going to labor ready today. No. This is not what was going on here. All right, look at this. The conquest accounts below follow the Bible's literary sequence. Summarizing them does not require treating every reported conquest as independently verified history. Part 1, Joseph, Egypt, and Israelite enslavement. Joseph is sold by his brothers. Primary source, Genesis 37. Joseph, son of Jacob / Israel, is the first named Israelite sold into foreign slavery. his brothers consider murder. Look at this. Then sell him to traders who take him to Egypt.
Brothers and sisters, our longest blowout sale of the year is happening now. So take advantage. 50% off the Minister of Wellness books and name brand organic potent supplements. This is only our second sale of the year. The next one will not be until the end of the year and will only be for a few days at most. Most of the extra funds from this sale, as is always the case, keep this in mind, will be utilized to care for our orphans. They are always in need of extra financial support throughout the month. And I'm doing this blowout sale to help fund our August the 8th food drive. Why? Because we failed our July 4th food drive. Our July 4th food drive was the smallest food drive we had all year due to a lack of support. And I tell you all the time that $4,000 monthly offering to support our 200 orphans is not enough. So all of these extra expenses fall on the shoulders of your Minister of Wellness. We are moving our food drive in August for August the 8th to a different, much more densely populated slum. Therefore, we need the entire $10,000 or chaos will ensue due to a lack of food. So help yourself and help the poor by supporting this blowout sale. 50% off. That is essentially buy one, get one free. So purchase as much as you like for yourself and your loved ones. The promo code is Feed the Hungry 26. Feed the Hungry 26. Feed the Hungry 26. That promo code will appear for you automatically to click and apply to your order during checkout. Everything is 50% off. Everything. All books, all vitamins, all sea moss and other seaweeds, all herbal extracts, all the packages, everything. Stock is always limited. We ship on a first order, first ship basis. However, do not worry about something being on back order. We will ship out your order in a timely manner. The sale will end promptly Sunday night, July 26th. Sunday night, July 26th. No extensions, no grace periods. The ministerofwellness.com. Support our blowout sale. Help yourself and help us feed these children. The ministerofwellness.com. Help us care for the orphans by supporting this blowout sale, which essentially is a fundraiser to help us with lagging missionary financial support. The ministerofwellness.com. The ministerofwellness.com.
The story treats the act as betrayal. The brothers later admit guilt. And you know what's crazy about that is Joseph was the favorite son of Jacob. So he had a chosen child too. You see what this chosen ideology does? It makes everybody who's not chosen envious of you. And even if they're your brother, they plot to remove you off the board, murder you. See, you're supposed to treat all your children the same. You ain't learned that yet. You're supposed to love them equally.
There you go.
And discipline them equally. You see?
Everybody looks at what Jacob did, brother, as something bad, something so negative because he showed favoritism towards Joseph. But these are the same characteristics that we put on the Creator when we claim that he selected a chosen people out of the human race. So that's what I'm saying, as we believe that the Bible is the greatest weapon of mass destruction the world has ever seen, because the Bible has a satanic spirit, brother, where it can turn what you know is right or what you know is wrong into something right. It is wrong as a parent to show favoritism. Yeah. But yet we all blindly believe that the so-called Creator, according to the Bible, did that very thing where he shows favoritism to a select group, to a select bloodline. And everybody's fighting, Brother Malachi, to see who are those special chosen favorites of the Creator. Sad. It's sad.
Yeah, brother. Yeah,
I mean, brother, again, if any of these leaders of any country got caught on a phone in a private phone conversation saying, even if it was in the middle of the Iraq war, even in the middle of the war, if George Bush had got caught and said, you go to Iraq and you kill everything that's breathing, I don't care if you see an Iraqi newborn baby attached to the breast, slaughter it, shoot it upon sight. I mean, brother, in no capacity would the evil human species accept that. But all you have to do, you put that in the Bible, and now the sorcery, that witchcraft spirit of the Bible starts working on your conscience to where now you're defending something that is absolutely horrific and wicked. Only the Bible has the power to do that.
Yeah.
And we know that because it had me and you hooked for how many decades?
Man.
We were under that spell.
Over two
This
for
is
me.
God's word. This is God. This is God.
Yeah. Yeah. Straight up. You dig? Again, you start trying to make an apple and orange. You start trying to make what's evil right and justifiable, and you know better.
Yeah.
There's nothing in existence that's pulling earth through their nostrils, whether it be a mortal or an animal, that doesn't know bondage, torture, rape, degradation, and slavery is wrong. Every part of creation know is wrong.
I know. To kill babies, everybody know is wrong. And then you know what's crazy, brother? Now let the OASP, let the OASP have something in there about slaughtering babies. Now look at what they try to condemn the OASP just because it's different. If any other book outside of the Bible was speaking of allowing slavery and take the virgin girls for yourself, that book will be utterly condemned. Look how these hypocrites condemn the Book of Mormon. They condemn the Book of Mormon. They condemn the Jehovah's Witness version of the Bible. They condemn the Quran. So that's what I'm saying. And it's the same with the Quran. That's the witchcraft that book has over these Abrahamic faiths. It's a sorcery that comes with these Torah-derived religions. Yeah.
They were set up by false deities and gods. And if you want to know the history behind these false gods, you're only going to find them in OASP. You ain't gonna find them nowhere else. I'm talking about detailed stories on what happened in the heavens that affect the earth with these so-called religions. Yeah, slavery. What do you think your slave, or who do you think your false gods are? They're slave masters. They're slave masters, and all you devotees are their slaves. Yes, we gonna get into it. You gonna see? We'll say, whoa. So when a WASP in the beginning tells you, I come not only to free the physical man, but also the spiritual man. See, majority of the earth is in bondage still, and don't even know it. Don't even know it, bro. Now look at this right here. It says right here, his brothers consider murder, then sell him to traders who take him to Egypt. The story treats the act as betrayal. The brothers later admit guilt. Look at this. They sold Joseph for how much, y'all? 20 pieces of silver. I don't want to hear nothing about what you talking about. Look, until you recognize the first Israelite sold in Bible was Joseph, and he was sold by his brothers. I don't want to hear nothing about no crying. Oh, brother, I'm just walking these curses out, Doc. Look, I ain't never bumped into a whole bunch of people who love the fact that they are cursed or under a curse. And that's how you should and look, this is how you decide that you are so-called special and chosen, by your misfortune, not by anything righteous you doing. You see? Look at this. Joseph subjects Egypt to Pharaoh. We know about all that. Then Israel becomes enslaved in Egypt. We know that. After that, Israel becomes slave in Egypt. Let's go to part 2. Principal Torah laws. Purchased slaves enter the household covenant. So in other words, just like Christianity. All the slaves in America adopted Christianity. All the Native Americans adopted Christianity. Huh? Why? Because that's the religion of your master. You're not about to be having no other spiritual system going on than what he got going on unless you're doing it undercover or subvertly. You gonna serve the same God as your slave master. Now, either these are Israelites, or these are Jewish folk, or these are white nationalists, or these are whoever claiming to be the chosen people of the Bible. If you're not them, you're going to be their slave and you're going to serve their God. They're going to force that on you. Primary sources, Genesis 17, 12 through 27, Exodus 12, 43 through 45. Abraham, must circumcise males born in the household and those bought with money. What you mean bought with money? Abraham was a slave master in Bible? Yes. Yeah, he had servants born in his house. Servants or slaves. And these slaves were bought or purchased with money. Look at this. A purchased circumcised male may eat Passover, unlike an ordinary hired worker. The slaves including the household religion, but remain subordinate, a second-class citizen, Brother Nathaniel. Point number 5, slaves are household possessions. Slaves are household possessions, but receive Sabbath rest. Look at that there, Yeah, because you're going to be under the same spiritual system in God as your slave master. Yeah, so whether this is an Israelite or a Jewish man, this is the setup that the Bible is talking about. All right, there's promised slavery coming. There's slavery in the past, and what you got to look for in the kingdom of heaven, there are going to be slaves there too. Or
you're going to be burning in hell according to the Christians. So, yeah. Come on, man.
Pick your poison. Pick your poison. So we saying that the Bible is a weapon of mass destruction. It's a biological plague like none other. You thought the COVID-19 or the so-called jab and all that was something. No, this is the pandemic of the virus that has destroyed the earth. Yeah. You would know nothing about no Israelite, no God of Israel. Yep. Any of this had not been in Bible.
Yep. Because the mistreatment of animals leads to pandemics. Most of these pandemics and viral outbreaks is because of our misuse of nature. And that's supported by the Bible because, of course, everything Brother Malachi going over, destroying the victimhood that we all try to put against each other, all trying to point the finger of who's better, who's worse, who's better. We all wicked. And we ain't even talking about from the eyes of the animal kingdom. But then again, when an earthquake or tornado comes, because Mother Nature's trying to heal itself and say, man, I got to get rid of this disease that's killing me. And that's us. Then we want to start whining about what the Creator is doing.
Yeah. Mankind, who you call humanity, is the virus, is the plague.
Yeah. Yes.
That's just what it is.
All of us.
Yes,
that's exactly the whole point of this. That's the whole point of this. That's the whole point. Black folk, we ain't got besides ourselves. We have become very self-righteous, like acting like ancient Africa, wherever ancient Israel was some paradise. I mean, that's just crazy how we talk, like we're so righteously superior. But then the whole foundation of the Black Israelites is that we're in bondage because we are wicked. So which is it? You can't make up your mind. If ancient Kemet for the conscious community, if you Negroes are so righteous, then why you destroy?
Make it make sense.
What'd you say, brother?
I said, make it make sense. You understand? Make it make sense. Come on now.
Like they weren't fighting wars against each other. Like in ancient Kemet, like they weren't warring against each other. I'm in Africa right now. They divided. It's 47 different tribes in the one nation of Kenya. You got families fighting right now because of you married someone from another tribe. I didn't ever even know that until I came here, brother. When I came to Kenya, I thought Kenyans were Kenyans and Nigerians were Nigerians. No, there's 47 different tribes, brother. You know, brother, you could have two Kenyans, brother, born and raised in Kenya, and they could each be speaking their own mother tongue and not understand each other.
Man, I didn't know that. That's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, they can talk about each other behind each other back. The national language is Swahili, but they're broken up in 47 different tribes, and they take those tribes seriously.
Wow.
Just like we do, just like black folk do in America, killing each other over gang color. No matter what, like you're showing, brother, the vampire parasitic human species, when you are under the spirit of a false deity, you will find a way to war. Look at that movie. Great movie, by the way, Braveheart. I know you seen Braveheart with Mel Gibson. And then white folk killing each other based on tribe.
Yeah.
How long have the British and the Irish and the Scottish been fighting each other?
Forever.
That's why I say these black Hebrew Israelites, they so disrespectful, trying to act like, how you gonna put all Europe under one banner, but then you as a black folk separate yourself from other black folk? So what we're pointing out is that this is a universal issue.
Yes.
And we cannot wait, brothers and sisters, for our brother, the general, to be on the Jake Shields podcast, because he coming in like a light, and it is a much needed. Like Jake Shields has on Tazariak, he had on all of these black and white races.
Yes.
And so the Creator Gang is about to show up, family, in a major way when we on the Jake Shields podcast. He's going to be stunned. He's going to be stunned to hear, from an ex-black Hebrew Israelite leader coming on there saying, the foolishness needs to stop.
Yeah.
And the problem is the Bible.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, I bet, brother, you're going to be on there for 4 hours, because Jake, man, he, because he's very friendly and he loves asking questions, man. You all going to be on there for 4 hours chopping it up. He ain't going to want to let you go.
Yeah. Look, they all got to fumble their deity. All of you up under the illusion and the spell of a false god, especially if you run around here believing that you're superior to the next man, woman, and child and the rest of creation. You understand? Look, they're gonna fumble their deity. They're gonna be made to look at this for what it is.
Right. I watched there's another movie with Christian Bale, who played in the Batman movies, where it was the Japanese were torturing and raping the Chinese. Yeah. They was the Japanese. And now, for most of us in our narrow-minded behinds, we can't even hardly tell the difference between a Chinese and a Japanese. And yet, because of the nature, the warmongering slave nature of our evil scum of the earth species, they was enslaving and raping the Chinese. Japan was. Like you say, and they all take turns. We all take turns with each other.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Get your comorbidities protection package now to make sure that you use it to supplement your nutrient-dense, plant-based vegan diet to get rid of any comorbidities that weaken your immune system before the next pandemic comes. And if you're getting comfortable and you don't believe another pandemic is coming that will destroy those with a weakened immune system, you are sadly mistaken. My comorbidities protection package for all creation gives you my 5 most powerful, best-selling herbal supplements in a package for half off the regular cost, no promo code needed. TheMinisterofWellness.com, TheMinisterofWellness.com. You get my fat loss herbal extract, lower blood pressure herbal extract, the immune support herbal extract, the blood sugar balance herbal extract, the reduce inflammation herbal extract. And this package addresses all of the leading causes of death in all people: obesity, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and chronic inflammation. Always keep in mind, brothers and sisters, that 90% of all profits funneled through the ministerofwellness.com online store goes towards helping us serve the poor. True salvation. The ministerofwellness.com, theministerofwellness.com.
Please don't get comfortable, brothers and sisters. Don't get comfortable. A lot of you all, you rushed and purchased the immune support emergency stash when that Chinese virus was starting to spread. Now you're not hearing about it. Don't get comfortable. Make sure you have your 7 bottles of my most powerful herbal extract for your immune system, the immune support emergency stash. You get 7 bottles of my powerful immune support herbal extract, which is a mixture of powerful herbs for the immune system. You get all 7 for 50% off, no promo code needed. TheMinisterofWellness.com, TheMinisterofWellness.com, TheMinisterofWellness.com. Remember, most of the profits from the online store also goes right into feeding the missionary work. When you give to the poor, that also helps boost your immune system. 888-847-8026 if you need help placing an order, any questions, comments, or concerns. 888-847-8026. 888-847-8026.
Yeah.
That's all it is, brother. Look at this right here. It says Exodus 20:10-17, Deuteronomy 5:14-21. Male and female slaves must rest on the Sabbath. The coveting commandments, nevertheless, list them. You remember, you know the commandment, thou shalt not covet, the last one, the last of the 10?
Yeah.
Look what it says. It says the coveting commandments, nevertheless, list them, the slaves, alongside houses, livestock, and other household possessions, assuming slave ownership as a recognized social fact. Read them and weed. And not only the slaves, the woman, the man's wife is on the same list. Same list. Along with the livestock, the houses, all the household possessions. Yes, slavery is a recognized social fact when you're dealing with the Holy Bible. We got a Hebrew slave, male serves 6 years. Exodus 21:2-6. If a man buys a Hebrew slave, so it's in your Torah. There's a commandment. You have permission, should I say, should you choose to buy not only a foreign slave, Brother Nathaniel, but a Hebrew slave. See? It's in your Torah that you hugging with so much reverence. Now, of course, they're treated differently than, a foreigner, but nonetheless, he's still your slave. A Hebrew slave ordinarily leaves in the 7th year. A wife and children supplied by the master remain with the master. Look at that. Look at that. So if the master who purchased him hook him up with a wife and he get her pregnant and she has some children, yeah, you can leave. But that woman I hooked you up with and that child she gave birth to, they're mine. And this is a Hebrew slave you bought. As a Hebrew man or a Hebrew family, you have permission in the Bible to buy a Hebrew slave. Hook the slave up with a woman because he didn't have a woman when you bought him, right? Go through a whole ceremony. They get married, and then he go ahead and put a couple babies in her. She give birth, and it's time for you to leave in that 7th year. Right? All right, I'm about to go. Okay, you can leave, but that wife and them children she bore are mine. They're my property. You see that? A wife and children supplied by the master remain with the master. So that's like me and you, Brother Nathaniel. I could buy you according to the Torah. I could buy you. Say you was in a position of where you was bad off economically speaking or financially speaking. I could buy you. You dig? Oh, okay, brother. You a single brother, huh? I may buy you to harvest and work my cane fields. Yeah. Right? Oh, but he ain't got no woman. All right, I need more slaves in the future. Oh, okay, well, how about Brother Nathaniel? I'm gonna hook you on up with this wide hip woman named Julie right here. Go ahead, have your way with her. Y'all get married or whatever, right? You have children with her. Now, in our contract or in our understanding, when year 7 comes around, You're free to go, brother Nathaniel. You like, yeah, but I love my wife and my children, and no, those are my property. Look at that. Those are my property.
Your wife.
Look at this. A Hebrew slave ordinary leaves in the 7th year. A wife and children supplied by the master remain with the master. The man may choose freedom without them, or watch this, brother Nathaniel, or lifelong attachment to the household marked by piercing his earth. Look at that.
Who will want to leave their family, and why doesn't it give an option for him to buy his wife? You know, even in chattel slavery, you could buy your wife.
Come on.
Why
man.
wouldn't it give an option for the free man? So the only way you can be with your wife and children is you got to remain a slave for the rest of your life? This is the monster God of the Bible, and you all wonder why I go so hard on this book. You wonder why we're saying it's a weapon of mass destruction. Again, let the Oashby dare say anything like, brother, they criticize the Oashby just based on the preface. They just because it's talking about the details of the false gods. Like if that's not your thing to dive deep into the inner workings of the false gods, we'll just go on to a next. They ain't talking about nothing evil. It's just going into details. Now here in this Bible that we were all brainwashed into, we're clearly saying that the only way for a slave to have to stay with his wife and his child, that he has to remain a slave for life.
Yes. Yes. And yeah, I want to keep stressing, this is another Israelite man. Yeah. This is one Israelite man buying another Israelite man.
Yeah.
As a slave, providing them with
nations to Zariak.
Yeah.
Other nations.
Exodus 21, 2-6. Giving him a wife, allowing him to impregnate her with children. In the 7th year, hey, bro, you free to go, man. Hey, man, you was a great worker. If you need anything else, let me know. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take my children, my wife, and get on about it. Nah, they ain't going nowhere. You can go, or guess what? You can declare yourself a lifelong slave to me in my household. And the proof, the receipt that we want is a pierced ear. Pierce your ear. And that proves right there that you're my slave for life. Look how evil that is, bro.
Yeah.
And you know the average man gonna what? He gonna choose to stay with his family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's a catch-22. Point number 7. How many of y'all knew this? A father may sell his daughter. Oh my God, bro. Y'all look, leave me alone. You don't want to get me started. Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean you can sell your daughter? It gets worse.
Yeah.
Huh? So that's like, okay, you fall on hard times, man. I ain't got no bill money, brother. But I do got some virgin daughters over here. I have virgin daughters. The hell I look like going to sell my babies, you dig, because I'm hard up on some money right here, and sell my baby to some cock-strong, musty maniac.
Let's not talk about the Sodom and Gomorrah story where that man was willing to give his daughters over to a mob to get gang raped.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
And he considered a righteous man. Lot considered a righteous man. And then didn't he get drunk and have sex with his own daughters, the same daughters he was about to give up to a gang mob?
Yes.
To get gang raped, to have a train ran on them? What in the name of the Epstein files are we reading, brother?
Look at this. Exodus 21. That Exodus 21 boy all about slavery. Look at him. Exodus 21, 7-11. A daughter may be sold into dependent, domestic, and marital status. You can sell your baby. The purchaser must permit redemption if he rejects her. May not sell her abroad, and must provide food, clothing, and marital rights. These protections regulate rather than prohibit the transaction. You see, so a man can sell his daughter to another man or to another household, you know what I mean, to be a future wife or to handle some business domestically, whatever. right? But the man that receives your daughter you sold to her must allow you to redeem her. He ain't got he according to Torah law, he can't continue to sell her off like you do a used car.
Yeah.
You can't do that. But knows the marital right. So a lot of men, most men were selling their daughters off to a rich family so that family so she could be wedded or married into a rich family.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, you can sell your daughter. Look at this. When someone sells their daughter as a slave, look at this. When someone sells their daughter as a slave, she shall not go free as other slaves do. Look at this. Meaning you can't resell her. That's a thief. A thief may be sold. Okay, we know about all that. What else we got on her? Exodus 21. Exodus 21, 20 through 21. Immediate death after a beating is punished. But if the victim survives a day or two, the owner avoids the same penalty because the slave is treated as his financial property. Physical punishment itself is not abolished. So you can whoop the wig off your slave as long as he don't die. Yeah, you can whoop the wig off of him, kick his knee out, punch his teeth out. Stab him up, but don't let him die. Yeah. Do whatever you want as long as he don't die. And then true about this, as long as he survives 2 or 3 days, 1 or 2 days, if day 3 come around and he die, the slave master ain't even in trouble, bro. Slave master ain't even in trouble. Why? Wow. Because he is his money.
Wow.
Yeah. You can beat the brakes off your slave in Bible. As long as he don't die immediately. If he as long as he survive a day or 2, you cool. So you can torture. They know what they have ways to torture individuals to where they can survive. You know what I mean? You won't die immediately. No, you die next week sometime. And in that case, the so-called slave master ain't even in trouble, Brother Nathaniel.
And these people, our people, it's like brothers and sisters, if you believe this myth that black people were the first people on the planet, which is a lie, all races were created at the same time, then you have to accept that we're the originators of evil. You have to accept that. It's right there in your Bible. This is black Israelite enslaving black Israelite being allowed to beat and treat. But you watch these movies like 12 Years a Slave and Roots, and you think this was all invented by white folk. According to the history that they spoon-fed black folks so that we could have this victimhood idolatry, you would think that the European has some type of a trophy holder that was the originator of slavery. And what we're showing you is that, if anything, they got it from the Bible.
Oh, man.
They got it from the Bible. They were all Christians and they all read these passages. And that's why they would beat and whip that slave. So next time you see one of them slave movies that they love to show us to keep you under psychological trauma, just remember that was allowed in the Bible.
Yeah.